Salaries in Estonia. Introduction. Salaries in Estonia are some of the highest in Eastern Europe. In 2021, the average monthly salary in Estonia was 1,548 euros gross, and by 2030, the average monthly salary is expected to increase and reach 2,315 euros. In order to benefit from it, it is important to be aware of Estonian wage conditions, so as not to be deceived as a foreigner starting work in Estonia. In this video, you will receive an overview of the wage system, wage formation, and how to protect your rights if needed. Working in Estonia. Work in Estonia can be performed under three types of contract: authorization agreement, contract for services, employment contract. Your salary is agreed upon in the contract. The contract must also specify the following: gross salary paid for work, payday at least once a month, taxes to be withheld from the gross salary. In Estonia, taxes are automatically withheld from your gross salary. For instance, the employer pays the social tax and an unemployment insurance premium for each employee. From the gross salary, income tax 20% and contributions to the mandatory funded pension 2% are withheld. The employer pays all the taxes on behalf of the employee, and at the end of the month, the final amount of the net salary is transferred to the employee's bank account. In addition, overtime work is also compensated. It is done by providing paid free time or monetary compensation. Overtime work is paid for at a rate of 1.5 times the wage. Compensation is also paid for night work and work performed on a public holiday. You are paid 1.25 times the wage if your working time falls on the night time, from 10 p.m. to 6 a.m., and double the salary if working time falls on a public holiday. Delay in the payment or reduction of wages. In the event of a delay in the payment of wages, the employee has the right to demand a penalty for late payment. You can calculate the penalty for late payment on the website. The term for filing a claim for delayed wages is 3 years. Reduction of wages is only permitted in emergency situations. For instance, if due to unforeseeable reasons the employer is unable to provide the employee with work, or paying the agreed wages is unreasonably burdensome for the employer. The spread of the coronavirus, for example, was one of the unforeseen circumstances in which the employer had the right to reduce wages. In the event of the salary reduction, the employee has the right to shorten the work time in proportion to the amount of wages reduced by the employer. For example, in the case of a 20% reduction of wages, the working time of the employee must be reduced by the same amount. The employer must inform the employee of the reduction of wages at least 14 days in advance, and wages may not be reduced below the established minimum wage. In matters related to the protection of labor rights, contact the Labor Inspectorate for counseling. Remember, when working, a contract between the employer and employee should always be concluded on paper or in digital form. It's recommended to sign the contract before the start of work. If the contract is concluded on paper, at least 2 copies must be signed, one for the employee, the other for the employer. In the case of a digital contract, a digital signature is enough. Your salary must always be specified in the contract and cannot be below the minimum wage for full-time work. Minimum wage changes each year, and in 2022 it is 654 euros. An employer must pay wages to an employee at least once a month. The exact payday must be specified in the employment contract. Envelope wages, in other words wages on which taxes are not paid, should be avoided. Envelope wages can cause problems for both the employer and employee. The employment rights of recipients of envelope wages are limited, and they also run the risk of not being entitled to health insurance and other state benefits. Before you start working, make sure you have concluded an employment contract and that all the documents are in order. Illegal employees risk being deported from the country. There's a salary comparison website where you can compare your salary against others in the same post and industry in Estonia. For more information regarding employment, please visit the Labor Inspectorate website. You can also calculate your salary by using the tax calculator that shows the amount of taxes withheld, net salary, and much more. For information about taxes and the national minimum wage rates, visit the Tax and Customs Board website.